Hi, everybody. This is Paul Fisher. I'm live broadcasting for the Billion Coin. TBC is what we call it. It's a cryptocurrency that's been out for 2 years now, and it's abundance-based. It's not on a trading market exchange, and we are doing these broadcasts to let our members, all of our members, and everyone else in the world know that we are just beginning to migrate over from the blockchain 1.0. That was a very slow system. Couldn't do enough transactions to keep up with what our goals are, which is to eliminate global poverty, to a new blockchain 2.0, which is so fast it can take transactions as fast as MasterCard or Visa at any register, anywhere in the world, as many times as it happens today with Visa and MasterCards all over the world. It's just that fast. Okay, so it's a huge game changer. We're going to be the first to have this. And our whole mission from day one is not to be an option, just an option, like the other coins have ended up being, where you can use it to protect your wealth, which all of us have our wealth in a fiat or a fiat debt-based currency. Okay, it's got nothing backing it up except our own belief in it. And it's no longer enough. So we're seeing the economy about ready to crash again, bubbles about ready to burst again. And we're just tired of it. So the countries around the world with this new technology of blockchain platforms over the last 8 years, and what they've seen with Bitcoin and all the other coins, they're getting it, okay? And they're saying, listen, we're tired of the central banking system controlling our countries, enslaving us, stealing our resources, and on and on and on. Okay, so what are they doing? Well, China is taking their yuan and they're backing it up with gold. And now instead of using the US dollar to purchase oil, they are using their yuan. Now this is China, the largest consumer of oil in the world. Okay? So when they make a deal now, they've already purchased billions of barrels of oil using the yuan, not the US dollar. Okay, and when they make a deal with Saudi Arabia, which is where they get a large majority of their oil, and they use yuan, and Saudi Arabia agrees, which in my opinion, I believe that will happen, then China won't need the US dollar anymore. And that'll be the end of the US dollar in China. It's already not being used in Russia. These are why these countries are demonized by the deep state, okay, and the central banking system, because they're not going along with the old program. It's been around for centuries. It's been locked into America, where I have grown up, and this is my country. Right now, I've been living in Las Vegas since 2004, and I grew up in Alhambra, which is a city right outside borders Los Angeles in Southern California. Okay, and in America, we have been locked into this system since 1913, when the central banking system bankers themselves managed to get their Federal Reserve Act passed, which turned the citizens of America, our money, our entire money system over to a private bank. And since then, all they've done is strip us of the value of that money, which is gold and silver. By the time they put Nixon in office, it was finished. He took us off the gold standard and turned it over to a petrodollar. And then the funny thing was, remember, those of you who were around in 1971, we were told there was no gas, no gasoline. Okay, and we ended up spending time in lines at the gas station for 45 minutes or longer to fill up our gas tanks on the days that matched, you know, the number on our license plate. I think it was odd or even. But we got through it, okay, and then I have a hard time not using curse words, but those central bankers gave us a thing called a master charge, a little piece of plastic that we can use to buy things on the spot, even if we didn't have the cash. Okay, if we didn't actually have the cash, we could go ahead and take these little mini loans out. Okay, right there at the cash register, everywhere in America. Anywhere that would accept, had the sign in the window, master charge is accepted here. Okay, and then it turned into MasterCard and Visa. And boy, we had fun, didn't we? Okay, we thought this is the greatest thing in the world. And the 70s and 80s were just, you know, well, those of you who went through it, and for those of us who just wanted to stay blind and get ourselves in debt. But in the 90s, it finally hit us, okay? And from that point forward, it's just been horrendous. And the system has maxed itself out. They keep making money. Not money, they keep making currency, okay? And they keep our country, America, along with all the other countries that they control, on the edge, on the precipice, is that the correct word, of the cliff, so that they don't want the country, they don't want America to default on their debt. We're now 22 million in debt, and they don't want America to default on that. They don't want any country to default, because once they do, or if they did, then they could point the finger at the central bank and say, you did this, okay? And then people would start to wake up. But the great thing about it is people are starting to wake up now without having to go through that because of technology. And the fact that people are finding out about cryptocurrency and that they can actually make their own money now. Money, not currency, money. It's just starting, okay? It's starting with Venezuela. They're making a deal with Palestinians, and it's going to just go and go and go from there. We already have countries like China and Russia who are backing their current money system with gold. We have countries all over the world that are repatriating their gold, taking it out of the Federal Reserve Bank vaults and bringing it back into their own countries. Okay, whether to back a currency or a money, whether to back a currency or just give confidence to the people, hey, we have our own gold. That's what the people want. Okay, so all this is just common sense, except a lot of us just kind of ignore it because we're busy doing our lives. We're doing the best we can. We've got our own problems, most of it caused by the deep state and its central banking system. And so we don't really know, and we haven't known all of our lives. If you're as old as I am, we haven't been able to do anything about it, okay? Haven't been able to do anything about it. It's just the opportunity wasn't there. It was slightly there in the early 60s. John F. Kennedy tried, but after that, they were right there at the point where their structure was about to get just so strong that you couldn't even chip away at it. Okay, and that's what happened. Okay, so like I said, by 71, they got us up to gold standard completely and said, oh, there's speculators out there. It's going to devalue this and that. We're going to do this and that and this and that. And, you know, base our dollar on our oil, and it's a bunch of BS. Okay, so along comes, you know, Satoshi Nakamoto with Bitcoin in 2009, and he was a pioneer. Okay, and he started it, and within 2 years, he realized I need to step away and just leave it into people's hands, because otherwise they're going to not have the confidence that I might come along and make changes again sometime in the future and devalue the coin. Okay, so he stepped away. Very, very good that he did that. Okay, the only negative aspect of these coins, including Bitcoin, is that they ended up on a market exchange. When you put something on the market, then you put it back into the power of the central bankers or the wealthy. Common sense, right? I mean, the wealthy already have the money. So they could buy, whether it's the stocks, they could buy all the stocks, raise the price up, bring all the rest of the people in there trying to make a buck. And then they dump, they sell. It's called pump and dump. They sell, they pump up the price, and then they sell and dump. And what do? When the price hits a certain low level, they go ahead and grab it up again. They take back all their stock that they bought, or all the coins that they bought, plus yours, because you threw yours back in there trying to prevent yourself from losing everything. And your stocks are back in the system, and your coins are back in the system, whatever's on the market that you're playing with. And every time they do that, they collect more and more of your wealth back to themselves. And so they end up still staying in control. Okay, so when they look at a coin or a company where they never go public, they never get on the market, they stay in control, but yet they also don't. With the technology of the blockchain platform, it's you've got miners, people, nobody knows who he is. He's a creator of Bitcoin. Nobody has to know who he is, right? What's the point of knowing who this guy is? I mean, if people knew, he'd probably end up a target. It's common sense. So there's plenty of Bitcoin owners we do know. Okay, they've chosen to remain out there, but there's plenty who don't. It just depends on their mission and what they are trying to accomplish with their coin. Our admin, he calls himself Kris Kringle because he's Santa Claus. He's giving the coin away. We are not based on just supply and demand. We are based on an algorithm that values the coin by members, you and I, humans. So every time a new member joins our community, and we do have a community, unlike Bitcoin, who has about 12 million people using that coin, 12 million out of a world of 7.5 billion. And that's why Bitcoin is still not really its own economy. Not only that, but they can only do so many transactions per second. I think around 10 at the most per second. Our new blockchain 2.0 it does hundreds of thousands of transactions per minute. Like I said, just like Visa and MasterCard, okay? So it's a game changer. It's a huge game changer. And the admin said, hey guys, we got to step it up when it comes to letting the people know what we're doing now. Now is the time. Because those that get in and understand can end up being billionaires because of the way we are distributing the growth of our coin out and the wealth of our coin. Now, everybody's going to end up wealthy who gets involved with us, no matter when. Okay? We are an abundance-based coin. There's no scarcity involved in our coin. We are creating 1 billion coins. No more. That's it. There's your supply and demand. But 1 billion coins is enough to take care of 7.5 billion people. More than enough. We can take care of 15 billion people. More than that. Okay? Now, just to give you an example, and I always talk about this, is the way the system is set up today. We've got 7.5 billion people, and we only have 2,047, approximate billionaires. 2,000. A little over 2,000 billionaires out of 7.5 billion people. That's the problem. That is the problem of what is going on in the world and what has been going on in the world, especially the last 100 years. And so it makes no sense. Why is there poverty? Because these 2,000 people are evil. Not all, but 99.999% of them, right? Because when you have only a smaller number of people that are controlling all the wealth, which is what they're doing, they control 99% of the wealth, and they give 1%, they leave 1% left over for the rest of the entire world to try to survive on. And of course, I'm not making any of this up. You can go look and do the research yourself. But I'm here to tell you that there is not only just an option for protecting your wealth, but there is a solution. There is a solution for all of your problems. Marina?
Yes?
Your mom's trying to call. And that solution is the billion coin. The reason why Bitcoin cannot be a solution and a lot of these other ones is because they're limited in how many coins they're making, or they're on the market exchange. So they can't be an abundance-based coin because their price can be manipulated every day. Okay, and you see it go up and down every day, don't you? Those of you that are involved in trading and using Bitcoin to try to make a buck, or you're just sitting there watching CoinMarketCap and seeing what things are going on every day. Okay, and how can any merchants accept a coin that goes up and down in value and there's no control, whether it goes up or down? It's a gamble. Merchants and retailers and service providers and everybody else out there, most of them cannot gamble. Most of them don't have enough cash flow going through their businesses that they can gamble and accept Bitcoin. Some do. And they understand that because of supply and demand, if they just hang on to the Bitcoin, that it will go up in value more than it was a year earlier. And every year will go up in value because of the supply and demand. There's only 21 million coins being made for Bitcoin. Okay, so with our coin being based on members, with our coin having an algorithm that controls the value of our coin, then we have a community. And it's more of a community than the other ones because we actually have an admin that has the ability to communicate with us every day through a blog, through his major website, thebillioncoin.info. Anybody can go and find out about the algorithm, find out what the mission of our coin is, find out what we've been doing for the last 2 years, find out everything they want to know by going to thebillioncoin.info. It's right down below in the description of this video. Okay. Also, there's a link there which we give the coin away. Now, right now, we are in the process of migrating. We just started April 30th. We're in the process of migrating from the old blockchain to the new, so there may be some problems for another week or so with the sites as we're doing this change and getting it, set. So if you have any problems, just hold back. If you're trying to get the free kringle, just hold back and wait another week and you'll be able to get into it. But here's the thing. And this is what we have noticed right now. And this is what I want to talk about today. Some have talked about it yesterday, but I'm just getting to it today because I had some interesting things I wanted to talk about yesterday, which was our new vetting system for people. Here's another thing that people ask me. They said, well, Paul, what happened with your ICO? Did you have an ICO 2 years ago, an initial coin offering? And I say, yes, we did. But it wasn't your typical ICO. It was 2 years ago. Okay. And even Bitcoin was just barely starting to get popular 2 years ago. And this was March 21st, 2016. Okay. When we finally came out and opened it up and began our distribution of the coin. Okay. So what admin did, because he wanted to have some control, he didn't want the rich to come in and buy it all up. And a lot of the ICOs you see today that are out there, they'll put minimums on how much you have to give them and purchase their coin to become or get involved in their ICO. Ours was not that way at all. Admin actually said, okay, you can only spend this much, and this is the coins you're going to get. And yes, you're going to get a ton of coins because we're making $1 billion. And the value of that is going to go up to our first 1 billion members. When we get our first 1 billion members, that maxes out the price of the coin. And we based it on euros back 2 years ago. Now we're basing it on gold because it just doesn't make any sense anymore. People are awake enough that they know what's going on with the euro and the US dollar. It's fiat. Why are we relating our value to it? I mean, we're always going to have something, but there has to be a transition coming where whatever happens, the only thing that makes sense is they're going to have to back currency by gold, or the people are just not going to accept it. Okay? The economy will crash this time. And we can have a soft transition or a hard transition. It depends on who wins the war. Okay, Trump and patriots, okay, like myself, we're working very hard and we're at war against the deep state and the central banking system. We're not using guns or bombs or anything like that, but we're using diplomacy and we're using, I mean, Trump is a deal maker. He's a businessman and he's got so much incredibly talented people working with him that most Americans have no clue. Okay, so I'm not going to get into that right now. Otherwise, I'll just go off again. Okay, so, see, I already got off track. The value of the coin. Oh, so you want to know what the top price of the coin is going to be, because it has to top out at something and then never go higher. Okay, otherwise, it just lowers the value of the coin. So we base it on the first 1 billion members. When we get to our first 1 billion members, that's the end of the growth of our coin in value. Okay. At that point, it will be based on, every member is based on 1 grain of gold, which is the smallest measurement of gold, smaller than the gram, right? Takes 480 grains of gold to equal 1 troy ounce of gold. So right now, 1 grain of gold at the current gold prices is worth 2.2 approximate euros or US dollars. Okay, before we were just pricing it on the euro. We said, okay, every member that comes in will be worth €1. It will increase the value of our coin by €1. Okay, so after our first 12 months, by March 21st of 2017, we had a little over 97,000 members at that point. We started off with about 100. We had 100 stakeholders, and then another 71 people were aware of it. And that's what we started out with, 171 people. And for the first 12 months, we grew to almost 100,000. Okay, so the coin was already worth in euros 100,000 euros, a little bit more in US dollars. So very few people can buy it at that point, a whole coin. That was after 1 year. Okay, our second year, which was our slowest years because we got bogged down like Bitcoin did with the blockchain transactions, peer-to-peer. We couldn't get it done fast enough. It just wasn't capable. So we started building a new one because enough time had gone by that the technology was there to build a new one. And so we immediately started to do that. I say we, but it's all admin. It's all the creator. He's completely self-funded. He doesn't make any money. He doesn't sell any coins anymore. He just sold them at his first, ICO thing to that 171 people. That point on, if anybody wanted coin, they had to buy it from those 171 people, not him. He stepped back and said, I'm not selling anymore. That's it. You guys are going now. Go. Let's build this up to 1 billion as fast as we can, and we'll have our own economy. Our own purpose is not to give you an opportunity to make or sell your coins to make fiat worthless currency, whether it's the euro, whether it's the US dollars / Federal Reserve note, euro / Federal Reserve note, whether it's any kind of currency in any part of the world at that time. 2 years ago, that's not what we're about. We're the exact opposite. We want our coin to be money, to be what people use to transact at the stores, everywhere, for everything. Okay, so that is what attracted me, because the first thing I did was I got involved with Bitcoin because it finally was just there so much I couldn't ignore it. Okay, and I'm not a techie person, so I didn't understand it way back in 2011 when I first heard about it. It sounded crazy to me. Okay, so but by 2016, it was just enough was out there because I was, involved in certain things on the computer all the time, that I realized Bitcoin wasn't going away. And I said, I got to find out about this. And I found out about it. Then it made sense. I mean, it really just blew me away. And I got involved and purchased a little bit and kept learning and educating myself. This was like the end of 2016, the beginning of 2017. So in March of 2017, it had been a year for the Billion coin to have been out. And I didn't know anything about the Billion coin. Okay, so I was just looking through videos about Bitcoin and learning what I could. And you know how on the right side of the column, while you're watching videos, they come up with suggestions. Hey, watch this. Watch this video. Or we suggest that you watch this video. So something came up that said TBC, and I was watching the coin market cap, and I was looking at the trading exchanges, and they all have little short names for their coins, usually 3 letters or a little short whatever. So BTC stood for Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying? So I saw this TBC, and I immediately realized I had never seen that on the trading exchange. So I said, what is TBC? Oh, it stands for the Billion coin, because it was right there. And so I clicked on it. I clicked on that one video. And then that video took me to another video. There wasn't too many videos back then, a year ago. Okay, so after about the 6th video, a light bulb went off in my head like you wouldn't believe it. Okay. And I said, good grief. I have to get involved in this. This is me. This is it. This is freedom. This is truth. This is a solution for the entire world to change for the better. Okay. It's not going to make everything perfect, but eliminating global poverty is going to do absolute wonders for the world, and a whole lot of peace when you think about it too. So I got involved. Okay, so a year later, we were at a little less than 100,000 members, and our price had gone up to 100,000 euros per coin. And pieces of the coin, like pieces of Bitcoin, it's called Satoshi. Ours was called Kringles. Okay, it was what everybody was dealing with, peer-to-peer. And even though we weren't on a trading exchange where every single trade is a transaction, and that's why Bitcoin got itself in trouble, because Bitcoin was the one that was being traded the most. Okay, it was the coin that had been around the longest. It was the coin that people had the most faith in because of that. And, you saw what happened. It greatly improved the value of the coin, but it fluctuated. It fluctuated up and down because guess who got involved? The central banking system. They were scared to death of this. They had no control. How are we going to control the people when we have no control over what they're doing right now, technology-wise? We're on the old system. What are we going to do? Well, it's on the trading exchange. It is? Okay, well, then buy it up. Okay, and they knew the system. I mean, the trading exchanges are their system. And guess what? They're all centralized. You can control a trading exchange. Okay, China, for instance, wants to concentrate on building their confidence of the people in their yuan. So they're not allowing Bitcoin in China. They won't allow any trading exchanges. Okay, they can just regulate them out. And trading exchanges have no choice but to not do business with that country because they're centralized. They're not decentralized. The coin itself, it's decentralized, but you've got to be able, and I'm sure many people in China have some, but there's no way of knowing. Okay, if they have some kind of way to keep it unknown through their internet system, whatever it is over there in China. But the point is that we don't have that problem of having the wealthy come in and buy what they want. We actually have control of how much anybody buys. And guess what else we did? Those first 171 people that started out in March 2016, they were all vetted. Okay, they weren't just people that, oh, you know, I found out about you guys and I want to. No, no, no. Who are you? What are you? We have this, we have that. Do you agree? Do you believe? Do you, you know, the admin and his friends, or whoever they are, had a way to vet those people, and we still do. Now, we didn't vet a lot in our first 2 years, but now we've got a great vetting system, because we're moving over to a new blockchain platform that's just going to explode our growth. And let me just stop right there. I'll get back to it. But let me go back to our growth from the first year to our second, when we were so slow and bogged down on that old 1.0 blockchain platform. In fact, it got so slow that we had to, for a few months, we couldn't even transact among each other. All of our send buttons had to be turned off while they tried to fix that system. And they fixed it to a point. They started turning the send buttons on a few at a time, testing things out, okay, getting the bugs out. And we're still going through that phase, okay? But now we're migrating. Now our blockchain's been built, okay? So now we're migrating. And that's going to be a process. It's going to take 90 days to migrate. But here's the thing. Our growth went during that slow year, which was basically 2017, till March of 2018, we grew 30 times. We went from 100,000 members to 3 million. Okay? If we go just 30 times again in the next 12 months, we'll be at 90 million, right? 3 times, 30 is 90. 90 million people in 1 year. With 90 million, and Bitcoin only has 12, we will have our own economy. And it won't be solid, it won't be worldwide, but we will have it in ways that Bitcoin has never even imagined right now. We will be able to use Kringles at the cash register for anything that we want. Because merchants would be crazy not to accept it at that point. 90 million people, you got 90 million people that can bring your business to me. I'm a business owner and I'm thinking, you got 90 million people around the world, and I'm on the internet. I have an internet business, so I can accept it from any country. And you're telling me you've got 90 million people in your community that are willing to spend their Kringles, their money with me? And that money is never going to go down in value. It's going to go up in value until you guys reach your first billion. Please, please bring your business to me, please. That's what's going to happen. I mean, think about it. It's just common sense. Okay? That's the power of people. That is the power of the billion coin. That is the power of the Kringle coin, which we may as well call it the Kringle coin, because right now at 3 million, 3.1 million, If we were still using euros to value it, it would be worth 3.1 million euros a coin. Nobody could buy that. Well, not nobody, but you know what I'm saying. And again, we don't allow the wealthy to come in and buy what they want. It's just not allowed. We have kept a small part of the centralization by creating our own wallet system, and you have to use our wallet system. Okay, we are a private community. A private community is just like any other private community that has their rules, and you either abide by them or you're not a part of that community. Okay, again, common sense. And we have tons of communities out there for all different types of things. And I mentioned one yesterday. I probably shouldn't have mentioned them, but it was on the top of my head because I had done some other research. But the point is, they've got it down. Okay, it's a community, and they're successful within their community. Whether they stand for good or evil, that's a whole other thing. But the point is, we have a community where we know who you are. Admin knows who you are when you join. In fact, we have a little bit of knowledge about who you are. If we introduced it to you and you use our link to get your free Kringles, which today is worth around $3,000 in gold, okay, well, based on the value of gold, it's worth $3,000. We're just giving it away for free to every man, woman, and child in the world. Why? Because our algorithm is built on membership. Every person that has Kringle raises the price of the coin and gets us to 1 million. We are distributing our coin as fast as we can to the first 1 billion people who will accept it. And it takes nothing to accept it except now there is a $10 fee. And there's a reason why there's a $10 fee. Okay, admin doesn't need the money, but that's the only $10 he gets. Okay, and he says, well, you know, come on, folks, I have to charge something because we've got too many people that are coming in getting this free, and then they don't do anything. They don't even tell their spouse. So what good are they doing? They don't see any value in it. So maybe if we charge them $10 and we just say, hey, that's a fee, and it pays for the servers, you know, your back office, we're going to give you your own website where you can do all your stuff and have your link to give to your friends and family members that you love and care about the free coin, which is worth $3,000, will go up in value every day. And then if they want, they can take advantage of our zillions of promos because we do have the ability to balance the wealth out. Okay, so people are thinking, well, geez, if I want to be what's the coin going to max out at when 1 billion people? Well, if gold is valued at the same it is today, which is 2.8, approximately 2.8 US dollars, then it's going to be worth about $3 billion per coin when it maxes out with our first billion. Okay, so anybody that has a full coin right now will have at least $3 billion when it maxes out, probably within 2 years. Okay, so especially with our new, you know, blockchain 2.0. That's what's going to make all the difference. That's the game changer for us. And it's the game changer for cryptocurrencies. We'll be the first. We're not going to be the last. And the more, the better. There's no competition between money. I say this almost every day. Okay? So the more cryptocurrency out there in the world, the better for the world. Okay, so we're just the first that's an abundance-based coin that's built on an algorithm. There's another one that's built on an algorithm, but it's just getting started. Coin itself will not come out till April of 2019, but the ICO has already brought in $1.7 billion. What does that mean? That means that people are knowledgeable enough that they have broken all records in wanting to get involved with that coin. Why? Because that coin has a company that's been around since 2013 and has built a base of 200 million people on a chatting platform. It's Telegram. Telegram. The genius that owns that company, that heads that company, created that platform, and it's completely private. Okay, no third party knows what you're chatting about on Telegram. That's what brought the people over to Telegram to start doing their chatting with. 200 million people used it last month. Okay, well, actually 2 months ago. I didn't check what they used it in April, but in March, 200 million people used it. Okay, so now he's in a position where, okay, now I can bring out a coin. Okay, and I really love the Billion Coins algorithm-based process, but I'm not going to copy it exactly like the Billion Coin by making it based on people. I'm going to make it based on the purchase. Okay, so every time someone purchases that new coin from Telegram, I think they call it ton, it raises the price up a fraction for the next person who has to buy it. Okay, and it's just a fraction, folks, a fraction, because it can be divided by 100 million times, right? So it raises it up a fraction. The next person buys it at a higher price. The next person after that has to buy it at a higher price. It's not much. They won't even notice it, okay, till way down the line, maybe, way down the line. Point is, I don't know what their max is. I don't know how they're set up. But the point is, it's an abundance-based coin like ours because the price will never go down. Price will never go down because it's based on an algorithm. And as far as I know, they're not going to put it on a trading exchange. Otherwise, they would have told people already, hey, here's our coin. Look how successful we are. We have 200 million people on our chatting platform. You know, come in and buy some coin and let's do this ICO, and then you'll double your money when we put it on the trading exchange. And they haven't said that yet. And why would they even bother with an algorithm if they were going to put it on a trading exchange, right? So this will be the second abundance-based coin that we know of. But it won't come out until April next year. And like I said, awesome. That's all I can say is awesome because it validates what we're doing. Okay, because 200 million people already know about Telegram chatting messaging service. Okay, and only 3 million know about us. Okay, because we're just a cryptocurrency that people don't even see on the trading exchange. So we have a lot of education to go behind our distribution, which is a slower process. Has been. But now that we're migrating over to a blockchain platform that's going to blow everything else out of the wall, we're going to blow past that very tiny community of 12 million Bitcoin users. We're going to blow past them. We can blow past them in a month or two. Okay. And then we're just going to skyrocket. Like I said, if we only win 30 times again this next coming 12 months, we'll be at 90 to 100 million people. We'll have our own economy. We will be using Kringles to make purchases for everything. Imagine what will happen when we get to our first billion, probably the following year, by the end of the following year. Okay, that's it. The entire world will be using Kringles. Now, they'll be using whatever else is out there too. But Kringles, the Billion Coin, these cryptocurrencies are their own money systems. It's always going to be money because it's always going to be valued by something, whether it's supply and demand, whether it's proof of work, POW, for the miners, or whether they decide to back their cryptocurrencies with something of value. Whatever countries and governments can do is what they're going to do. That's why the entire that's why the entire world is looking at Venezuela right now, because they were the first to start this. They ran into so much trouble that people were starving to death in their countries. There's no food on the shelf. They couldn't sell their oil because of the sanctions that the central banking system put on them. So they came out with the Petro coin. They called, I don't know what they called it. Petro's something. Petro coin, I guess. It's a cryptocurrency. They said, hey, folks, we're going to base it on our oil. That's our resource. And the people came back and they said, well, we can't sell the oil. What are you talking about? I mean, yeah, we got oil and we know it's worth something. But right now, we can't sell hardly any of it. So, you know, are you guys... They didn't have enough faith. So the government said, oh, okay, you got a point. Well, guess what? We repatriated all our gold. It's sitting here in our country. Okay, we have all our gold. So we're going to base it on gold. How's that? Oh, Well, that's a whole different thing. It's now going to be backed by gold. Yeah, we're going to back our petro coin by gold. Okay. Now the people are using it. Okay, now it's just getting started, but it's already grown so fast that they're making a deal with the Palestinians for their own cryptocurrency, or to do trades, or to use the same coin. And all this does is it frees up countries and the people. It doesn't land in somebody's hands who's going to control it. It can't be controlled. Okay? It's decentralized. So the more countries that switch over to cryptocurrency, the more freedom they bring to their people, the more control they get back, and they kick out the US dollar. They kick it out because it's central banking system, debt-based, worthless. Okay? So this is all good. Okay? It's all good. Now, yes, everything is tied. Money is tied to politics. So you can't talk about money and the solutions without bringing up politics. So I talk about politics all the time because it's going on right now. Okay, especially since Trump took office, and what he is doing in the background while he's saying something else in front. He's giving the corporate media what they want to hear because they're controlled by the deep state, and he's training 2 steps ahead of them. Okay, and so far we won all the wars. I mean, all the battles. We've won the battle over in North Korea. Okay, we brought peace. And now we've got a problem with Iran. Iran's next. We've always said it. We've always known it. Okay, that's always been our goal, is to bring peace to Iran. Okay, so we're going to see the same thing we saw in Iran that we saw in North Korea. You know, they're gonna start threatening. But the deep state is so freaking out over the fact that they're losing in Syria, that Trump and the Patriots are winning, okay, with the help of our friends, another democratic all-Christian nation called Russia, and even China and Iran and Assad himself, what he can do to get rid of the deep state, to get rid of the terrorists, which are all deep state. Okay, so Netanyahu who is 100% deep state and the head of Israel, and the people really don't like the guy. The poor Israelites are stuck with him right now. Okay, and they again, a mass amount of people in every country will always believe the corporate medias that are in those countries and believe what they tell them. But they do have options now. Technology has brought us options. The internet. Okay, so we can find the truth. Back when I grew up, we had ABC, NBC, and CBS. We got our news from them, and that was it. We had to believe them. Okay, man, have things changed. Okay, for the better and for the worse. But now we're in a position we've never been in before. Now is the time to get rid of the central banking system. And not only get rid of it, but get rid of it completely. In spite of how structured and strong it is being chipped away, and it is crumbling. It is losing its power in Syria. Okay? So what does Israel do? What does Netanyahu do? He fires missiles over there into Syria. What the heck is that? Is that just him saying, hey, I'm going to start a war and I'm going to go to war with you, Syria? You know, what is he doing firing missiles into another country? Has he been threatened by Syria? They'll make it look like it was. They'll make it look like Syria threatened them. They'll come up with some excuse why they had to shoot some missiles over there. But you know what? The missiles hit Iranian bases. They want a war with Iran. Okay, because that's where the money is. That's where the deep state still is. So there's a couple things we need to do. Eventually, the goal with Trump and Patriots is to get all of our troops out of Middle East, period, all of them. Okay, I think we've got 2,000 in Syria, and we need to get them out so that we can let Russia, Iran, and China and Assad mop up the rest of Al-Qaeda, ISIS, whatever. We've got things going on in Lebanon. The voting is just blown us away. I mean, this is half Hezbollah and half Christian over there that have put in a new leader. This is the first time that they've been able to vote, I think, in 9 years. Okay, and then we got things going on with Israel and in Iran. Okay, and we're going to see that for a while, just like we saw with Kim, threatening everybody, threatening Japan, threatening the United States, threatening South Korea. Okay, it was all a game. Okay, a game to get rid of the deep state. So we accomplished it, we got it done, and now the last part of it. I mean, Kim has just met with, I forgot the name. What's the president of China's name? Xi Jinping, I don't know, something like that, right? Okay, I get all these names confused, Korean, Chinese. I'm not good at that. But he met for him for the second time outside of his country, without having to worry about, his regime being overtaken by the deep state, because the deep state's not in Korea anymore. Okay, so just think about this. This all makes common sense. But the last part is he's got to meet with Trump, and that's coming up. Okay, and that's the deep state's last chance, because after that, there will be peace. Okay, again, all they did was agree on denuclearization, the Chinese and Kim. And of course, they already agreed to that with South Korea and with Moon. Okay, so the deep state's freaking. Okay, and once Trump goes over there and meets with Kim, and it's a done deal, and it happens, it's a done deal. That's what I meant. Okay, so the deep state has every reason in the world to try to stop that, or to create a distraction that's so massive that the people of the entire world, not just the US, are distracted from that process. Okay, and I don't even want to think about that. Okay, but the deep state is going down, and they're panicking, and when they have their back against the wall and they've been in control for so long, you think they're going to go down easy? No. But they're going down, folks. You see it every day. Watch the executive orders that Trump has been coming out with since March of last year. Watch the resignations that are happening with people. Watch the people who are leaving and selling their houses in Washington, D.C. Watch what is happening. They're running scared. I have an ongoing conversation with people that on the left, liberal Democrats, who are they hate Trump so much, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And they're so behind Mueller, okay? And they're so behind Rod Rosenstein. And they think, oh, they're going to bring justice. Trump's going to go to prison. And, it just clicked to me yesterday that, obviously Mueller's got nothing, okay? And he's being made to look like an idiot. Okay, and Rod Rosenstein has just got so much going against him, it's not even funny. But it just occurred to me yesterday that what if Mueller and Rosenstein were just pretending on what they're doing? And this whole time, they've been in the background with secretly investigating Hillary and Obama instead of Trump. Think about that. I mean, that's just an opinion that I could come up with, but it could be real, right? So wouldn't that be something? Point is, we're out to win. And TBC is not just an option for people to move their wealth into to protect their fiat currency wealth, but it's a solution for the entire economic crisis in the entire world. So pay attention to what we're doing, okay? Every day we're going to try to come out. These live broadcasts are going 24/7. Since March 21st. Okay, so I think today this is my 32nd one, I think. Okay, and I haven't been every day. And there was a couple of days where either I couldn't make it or there was something wrong with the Wi-Fi. Right in my neighborhood here in Green Valley, in Henderson, right next to Las Vegas, the towers are enough apart that it has created a little weak kind of a dead zone right in our neighborhood. Now the TVs mostly work real good and the cell phones work real good, but there's problems with the Wi-Fi, or there can be problems with just the computer Wi-Fi, depending on how many people in your household or next door is using it. If they're on CenturyLink, well, if they're on anything, because the towers are the towers, they control all the servers or all the, whatever. Okay, the service providers. Okay, your Wi-Fi service providers. So that's just the case, and so I ended up doing those videos those days, and it was so bad that I just had to delete them. So I have done 32 actual ones that are on my YouTube channel. So you can go back and look at any one of them and get more education. But there's more of us, okay? We are supposed to do them in half-hour slots. Most of us go over, which is fine because someone else again starts a half hour. I'm scheduled at 5. Someone will start at 5:30. Now today there was nobody scheduled after me at 5:30, but there was somebody coming on at 6, okay, which is in just a few minutes. Okay, but I'll go over because every day there's just so much happening that I want to talk about it. Okay, we had a blog come out 2 days ago, okay, where the admin, Chris Kringle, was kind of letting us know the bottom line about negative people within our community and those even that are not in our community. Negative in the sense that they're kind of trolls on Facebook and saying, oh, TBC is a scam. It's not on the trading exchange. It's not on the market. Don't get involved in it. Or there are people that have come on board and we didn't have a good enough vetting system for just massive amounts of members. And then they got disappointed because they had these expectations of doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And so they got mad and they became trolls. And with those negative comments out there, it's hurting our community. And we have to do something, anything we can. And we can't do anything. All we can do is kick them out of our community. But we do need to understand this and have a way of dealing with it and understand what we're doing. We are in the distribution phase. We're not in any kind of opportunity. We're in a distribution phase of a cryptocurrency that's going to be an abundance-based coin. It is an abundance-based coin, and it's going to take care of the entire world. Okay? That's the bottom line. But the faster we can get it into your hands, the better. But it's not for everyone. Not now. Not in our first billion people. But we will control what we can give you. You can have a full coin right now. You won't have to pay almost $8 million US for it. You can pay $100. We have ways you can do that. We have ways where you don't have to pay anything, and we'll just give you the coin because you're spreading the word out. Leaders like myself and anybody else who wants to be a leader and just come out and do live broadcasts like this and build up the TBC community, they'll reward you with free coins that are going to be worth 2.2 or 2.8, $3 billion within 24 months. Maybe 36 months, let's just say 36 months, 3 years. You know how fast it's going to go by? I don't see how it could take that long, though, with our new system. And with the fact that another coin's coming out based on an algorithm like ours, it's got 200 million people already today. Who knows how many people they're going to have in a year from now, just using their chat service. You don't think those people are going to be confident in a coin that comes out from the same company? Okay, so yeah, we're going to grow, and we're going to grow fast, but we want it to grow as fast as it can. Okay, because that's our whole point. We want to use it as money. We are already using it as money. Okay, don't get me wrong. We're making peer-to-peer transactions. We have already turned on over 36,000 send buttons on the old system. On the new system, everybody's send button will be turned on. Anybody who comes in and pays the $10 fee for their back office for a whole year, and it includes a lifetime wallet with no transactions, no transaction fees. You can do as many transactions a day and not get charged anything. Try that with a cryptocurrency that's on the trading exchange. It's not going to happen. The miners are going to charge you. Okay, so we have a completely different mindset. Our mindset is abundant. Okay, and you have to get that mindset in order to understand what we're doing, because we have been raised with a scarcity mindset. Okay, there's not enough to go around, and that's just BS. Okay, we have been brainwashed, and we're still being brainwashed. So we're doing everything we can to get the word out about our coin, and we're going to continue to do this. Okay, until there's so much videos out there that anytime somebody looks up Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, they're going to get a bunch of TBC videos to look at on the side. I mean, YouTube is the best way to get the word out. Facebook's not. Okay, there's just too much BS with Facebook. But with YouTube, there's a lot going on out there. I'm just shocked that YouTube hasn't shut us all down. Okay, but because they're owned by Google. Okay, so, but as long as we have this platform, we're going to use it, okay, to get the word out. And you know how incredible YouTube is. The ability of people to come out and just tell people how to do this or do that. Fix this, fix that. We never had that when we were growing up. We had to find somebody who knew it and get them to teach us how to do something. Now all we got to do is pull up a YouTube video and somebody's showing us how to do whatever it is we want to do. You want to build a home? Here's how to build a home. Okay, here's a 30 video series on how to build a home from scratch. I mean, it's crazy, and it's free. So YouTube is amazing. We just need a YouTube that's on the blockchain, huh? Okay. Well, there is one coming out. Okay. It's called DTube. Stands for decentralized YouTube. I'm sorry, but I'm serious. Okay, it has to do, they're part of Steemit, which is a blockchain platform, social media system. I don't really like Steemit because they got some rules I just don't agree with. Okay, but somebody who is a part of that said, you know, this would really be cool to have a YouTube type system that we can post videos on Steemit, and it'd be decentralized. And nobody can ever get rid of the videos. Nobody can ever delete your videos. I mean, we got people on YouTube that have been doing videos for years, thousands of videos that have had their complete channel deleted because the owners of YouTube didn't like what they were saying. And if they didn't back up those videos are gone forever. You know, there's one more thing that gets me emotional. You know, it's bad enough when I see, you know, like I've talked about so many times, people get hurt financially. But now people can get hurt with their intellectual property just disappearing on them. Just being deleted because they just trusted the system. Okay, so let's get onto this blog, okay? And it's a rough blog, but it's going to show you, again, like those 10 questions I went over in the last few days about that's coming out to help vet our new members when they come in. It will vet them out on its own. Everybody has to go through these 10 questions I talked about that before they become a member, before they spend a dime of their money. They're going to vet themselves out, or they're going to say, man, this is awesome. Here's my $10. Give me my free Kringles. And I want to buy $100 and get a full coin. I want to buy $200 and get 2 full coins. I want to buy 1,000. I got 1,000 sitting in the bank is doing nothing. In fact, I got 100,000 sitting in the bank is collecting like 4% a year, maybe 2% a year. And if the bank shuts down, I don't even have access to that cash anymore. So let me take 1,000 out and I'll get 10 coins. And I'll become what? 10 times 3? I'll become a 30 billionaire in 2 or 3 years with Kringles, with the billion coin. I know it sounds unfathomable to think that way because we haven't been brought up to think like that. We've been brought up scarce, 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 lack, lack, lack. Okay? But just do some research, people, because I have. The world has got so much abundance in it, it's not even funny. We've got enough water, we got enough food, we can take care of billions and billions and billions more people than we have on the earth right now. Don't be deceived. Don't let the corporate media, who is owned by the central banking system and the elite, deceive you into thinking there's lack of this, lack of that. Oh, there's global warming. Oh, the world's going to end. Oh, there's climate change. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's that. You better give us some money. We'll do the best we can to save the world. Don't believe that. Just use some common sense. Use some logic. You know, it's like this thing now with Israel and Iran. Iran, if you know, has not been attacked anybody in 200 years. But now they're saying Iran's going to attack Israel. Iran's going to go to war with Israel because now Israel dropped some rockets on some Iranian bases in Syria. Iran doesn't want to go to war with anyone. What would be the point? Use logic. If Trump wanted a war, he would have had one with North Korea. If he wanted a war with Russia, Russia was ready to back North Korea along with China. There's your war right there. There's your third world war right there. It didn't happen, did it? Now, again, if Russia still wants war, if Trump were to want war, he's got another opportunity with Iran and Israel. Let the war go. The only problem is common sense and logic tells you that Russia and China and even Syria would back up Iran against the United States. You think that's going to happen? No. Okay? Logic and common sense is something that people out there that hate Trump so bad that it's not in their brain anymore. Okay, so just look at what's going on and you'll see what's going to happen. Look at history so you can see what's going to happen when you see the things that are happening, that you can tell that somebody wants to change history. They don't want to repeat. It's really, really there if you just open your eyes. And I know you have no control over that, okay? But hopefully God will open your eyes if you're ready to see the truth, because it's out there. Just think about logic and common sense. When everything that happens, you're getting hit by all this crap, think, okay, is this logical? Does this make sense? And look at everything that's happened since Trump's taken office. That's all you got to do, those three things. Okay, so I'm going to actually share my screen now. And we're going to go over this blog together, you and I, okay? Because it's really cool. In fact, I may have to put my glasses on. Let me see what happens. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. Now let's go over to the blog. Okay, and again, this is the way admin stays in communication with all of 3.1 members, and then eventually all billion members, eventually everybody. In fact, eventually he'll be pulling back out. He'll pull out. And he'll make all those wallets that he has control over, he'll make them decentralized. He's already promised us that in another blog. And we know that he'll keep his word because we know him now for 2 years. And everything he has said, he has done. And the way the man speaks on his blogs tells us a lot about who this guy is. And he's definitely Christian-based, okay? Because he uses the scriptures a lot. And this is what is attracting good people to our community. Doesn't matter what religion they are. If they just have good morals and they're good people, they're going to be attracted, even if they have no religion, they just have decent ideologies, they're going to be attracted to our community. They're going to want to belong. Okay? Again, logic and common sense is enough to make people belong. Every patriot in America, if they knew about the Billion Coin, would already be a member of our community. Every single patriot, every single person that supports our president would and should be a member of our community. Okay? So if there's one of you listening that's brand new, in fact, I should go over and look at my live chat. I always forget to look at my live chat and see if there's any questions. Hi, Diana. Thank you so much again. See if there's any questions. Hi, Lendon. Hi, Brian. Hi, Daria. Hi, Our Career Point. TBC Hoffa. Hi, all you guys. Thank you so much for coming in here and posting your post. I told you yesterday, you have no idea. Hi, Medlock. Hi, Stephen. No idea what you do when you come in and you participate in a chat. You guys are all leaders. You're top notch. Whether you're making broadcasting or not, you guys are top notch because you come in, you participate, you say things that are going to make a lot of difference when a new person comes and hits a video. For any one of us that is doing a video and sees your remarks on there, it helps. I know it because it's happened for me. It wasn't just a video that got me originally involved in the Billion Coin. It was the fact that people were saying things to back whoever was on the video up. And, you know, there's a lot of power to that. Okay, so back to the blog that you guys may have already seen this on other blogs. So if you want to, you can go do whatever else you want. And I appreciate you guys. Again, love all of you and will support you and do support any of you that are making videos. I will go on and I watch and I will hit your thumbs up, your like buttons. Okay, builders have the right expectation about TBC. Okay, that's the key right there, that first word, builders. Builders have the right expectations about TBC. Okay, so obviously if you're not building, then maybe you don't have quite the right expectations is what I read out of that. Okay, so what does he have? He has a picture here that shows, you know, like an apple tree that's just getting started. And he says, this is what a young apple tree looks like. Notice that it does bear fruit, but no one would expect a young apple tree to bear a lot of fruit, right? TBC builders recognize that TBC is also young, but we are well past the proof of concept stage. The people that purchased TBC in 2016 took the largest risk. In 2016, TBC went from just being an idea in the mind of one person to being a proven concept. Reports of goods and services being traded for TBC happened as early as 2016 within our first 6 months of existence. A large portion of the TBC trades today are also for goods and services and not just peer-to-peer exchanges of TBC for fiat. So anyone saying TBC is worthless have refused to look at the fact that it does hold its current value or current price value on a peer-to-peer basis. Only a person talking out of their ass would say TBC is worthless today. TBC is clearly bearing fruit today. Now, he doesn't say the word ass. He uses an A for at and then two. Okay, but I just couldn't help myself. Okay, but like this young apple tree, TBC is not widely accepted everywhere yet. TBC builders know this to be true. They know that spending TBC is not effortless yet. Okay, and now you can see the picture of a fully grown and mature apple tree. Doesn't that look awesome? I can get hungry just looking at that. Okay, and then he goes on and he says, it amazes me that many of the non-builders of TBC expect TBC to look more like this mature apple tree. The same seem to think that spending TBC should already be effortless. Some of these non-builders of TBC are very vocal about their expectations of TBC today. On one hand, they want TBC to practically save their lives, and on the other hand, they are busy making a lot of negative noise about how they are not getting what they expect out of TBC on Facebook. Don't they realize that their negativity just increases the effort required to access the fruit of TBC? If they spent the same amount of time and effort being positive about TBC, they would become a TBC builder. TBC, as promised, has delivered wealth. Just open your wallet and look at how much your TBC is worth. 100% of the people that spent $110 in this TBC opportunity are wealthy today in TBC. 100% of them have more wealth in their TBC wallet than all the other assets they have combined together. A while back, I wrote an article about how different the perspectives can be about their TBC wallet balance. And then he gives a link, as you can see it. So anybody can click on that link when they get to this blog and do that. Now the blog is always at blog.thebillioncoin.info, or you can just get it at thebillioncoin.info, and then just look up for the blog tab and it will take you over to the blog. So you can read all the blogs from 2 years worth of blogs, and you can find out everything you could ever imagine about the admin, his mission, our community, and our coin. Everything you could possibly want to know is right there in the blog. Yeah, it takes some time to read 2 years worth of blogs, because he makes anywhere from 1 to multiple blogs posts every day. Not every day. There might be one day he missed. Okay. He goes on and says, please reread that article. It can straighten out your attitude towards TBC. This article is meant to be a tool that the builders can use when they come across someone with the wrong expectations about TBC today. Get those people to read this article. All TBC builders have accessed some of the fruit of TBC today. Here is what they all discovered. When they compare the time and effort they have put in towards gaining that fruit to what they would have done before they came into TBC to access similar fruit, it costs them more in time and effort getting similar fruit the old way they would have done it. How long does it take you to make $100 at your regular job? How much effort do you put in at your job to make $100? Is your job effortless? Did you have to learn some new skills at your job to be able to keep your job? Do you go on Facebook and complain about your job? Are you allowed to bring the company moral down with your negativity while you are at your job? People like that get fired, don't they? So stop it. Stop slowing us down here in TBC. TBC builders are not just building TBC for themselves. They are building it for you too. If you don't want to be a TBC builder, that's fine. You don't have to be. Just don't get in the way of those who are TBC builders. Stop the negativity. Down the road, TBC will look like this mature apple tree, and spending TBC will get easier and easier over time. Even if you can't believe that, there is zero benefit for you to be negative about TBC. If you can't say something nice about TBC, don't say anything at all. Or didn't your mother teach you that? Instead of calling you a non-builder, I'd rather call you a future big spender in TBC. So behave like that. Determination is the only thing required to buy anything you want using TBC. Today and tomorrow, ongoing. Car deals, land deals, and other large purchases have been the result of the builders of TBC determined to make their own deals happen. I'm sure they had plenty of people tell them no. No, you cannot buy the car for sale using TBC. No, you can't buy the land for sale using TBC, and so on. But eventually someone said yes. That's how determination pays off in the end. No is just a word. Don't get all hung up on it. Don't be all emotional if someone says no to you. Let me give you some advice. If you want something like a car, for example, interview all the members you can find that purchased a car using TBC. Figure out how to duplicate what they did. Then get ready to hear the word no over and over. We are like that young apple tree. The world out there hasn't figured out what TBC is yet. The word build implies that development takes time and effort. Your determination to do a large purchase using TBC and the effort to finally make it happen helps to build up TBC. So go for it. I've been thinking deeply about the rewards of the TBC builders and the other TBC members, whatever you want to call them. As I have said many times before, TBC is all about spreading opportunities and not about spreading obligations. Once we have fully matured and have 1 million billionaires and 1 billion millionaires, what should be the main difference between the two categories? Should it just be timing? Should those that got in early and paid $110 all get to be the billionaires? Is that healthy? Should those that got in early and paid and then just sat quietly in the background get the same reward as the hardworking TBC builders that also got in early and paid? That's not right. That's not right at all. If we don't fill up the billionaire zone of our TBC economy in May, as of June 1st, 2018, there will be 2 sets of cookie rewards. The amount of cookies a TBC builder will earn will be 1,000 times higher than what the other members will earn in cookies. Now, if I haven't mentioned cookies today, I've certainly mentioned it in my other videos. Now, this is me, Paul, talking. And he still has a couple paragraphs here left. But I want to chime in here and say that there's constant rewards and promos that the admin puts out to balance the wealth among us. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, we are creating wealth for anybody who wants to get involved. Okay, the ship is still here and it never left. Okay, it's been here for 2 years. It's going to stay for a while. You see what I'm saying? We're so different, and you have to get your mind wrapped around that. So what he does is, if you buy right now $100 worth of Kringles at the current Kringle price, then he will give you as a reward 100 million cookies. Okay, it's just a point system. He'll put that in your back office. And then during a redemption period, like we are in one right now for the whole month of May, you can redeem those cookies for actual Kringles just by going in your back office, clicking on a button, and you'll see the cookies disappear and you'll see the Kringles go into your wallet. And 100 million Kringles is one full TBC, one full coin, where it's currently today $8 million and will be worth $3 billion when it maxes out within a couple of years. Okay, so an instant billionaire potential and an instant multimillionaire for $100, $110. Okay, and there's a $10 fee. Now, most people can't wrap their head around that. Oh, that's too good to be true. It's a scam. Okay, but we're at a time in history when you've got to look at logic and you've got to look at common sense and you've got to make a decision. You know, even if there is a chance that this could be a scam, what am I risking? $110. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to buy 200. You don't have to buy 1,000. You don't have to have 10 coins if you don't want. We don't want your money. We don't want your fiat cash. We want to build the system up, and we want to build wealth in our people. We want to use Kringles as money, not the dollar bill. Okay, so I'm going to go on with the article. The next paragraph is, for example, if a new member doesn't enroll to be a builder, then when they purchase $100 of TBC, their cookie reward will be 100,000 cookies instead of 100 million cookies. Okay, so that's what he's now telling us. He's now telling us that he's going to change it because he wants us to get the idea and the realization and the reality that we need to open our mouths and tell other people and give other people the coin. How else are we going to build? This common sense. And this is why he constantly has tons of promos, and he'll make changes when he sees how things are working with a promo and what they're not working and how they're not working. And so he makes changes, and believe me, every time he does, it gets better. It gets better, it gets better, it gets better. Okay, so he goes on here and he says, TBC Builder enrollment will be coming soon inside the Kringle Cash website. Okay, so he's going to add this to the website that we get for $10. For now, the expectation to keep the classification of TBC Builder will be two things and one additional thing implied. TBC Builders will answer the keyword correctly for the send button meetings, and they will do regular broadcasts. Implied is that they will study the TBC blog. Those TBC Builders deserve to become the TBC billionaires. Okay, and remember, we're after 1 million billionaires. Right now in the world, there's only 2,000. That's the problem with the world. Okay, so everyone else, he goes on, will become TBC millionaires until we can conclude the distribution phase of TBC. Here's how the current numbers stack up today. About 40,000 send buttons have been turned on. This is on the old system, remember. On the new system, everybody will have their send button turned on as soon as they join. Okay, yet, he goes on, only 5,000 to 7,000 members out of that 40,000 input the correct keyword for the send button meeting. Now, every Monday, we have a send button meeting. And that just means people who do have their send buttons on, like the 40,000, get to go to this special meeting, or they get to watch it on YouTube. It's on for maybe 24 hours, maybe less, maybe only 12 hours. They keep it on. And what they do is they give you a word somewhere along that meeting. The voice of TBC, Randy Wilson, will show a piece of paper with a word on it. So to make sure you've seen it. And then you go take that word into your back office, and you enter that word, and then you get 100 million cookies. Or no, you get 1 million cookies right now, just for attending the send button. Okay, so that's what he's talking about here. He's talking about 40,000 people have their send buttons turned on, but only 7,000 members are inputting or watching that send button meeting, which is a very, very, very important meeting. And you don't have to be on it live. Like I said, they do keep that YouTube video up for anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. So you can go and watch it at your leisure. You just have to remember to do it every Monday or every Tuesday if you're on the other side of the world. Okay, that's not good, guys, he says, not good at all. Those that don't attend or watch the send button meeting are the same ones slowing us down in more ways than one. So it's not an obligation to attend. Okay, he's just letting them know you don't have to. Okay, unless you choose to collect the higher rewards as TBC Builder. Okay, think about that. Then it goes on and says, right now you get 1 million cookies, not 100 million, but 1 million cookies each time you put in the correct keyword. But if you don't want to be a TBC Builder, you will get 1,000 cookies instead when you attend to put in the correct keyword. So obviously there's going to be a process in that back office where you're going to be able to click on whether you want to be a builder or not. And depending on how you click on will depend on how many cookies you get when you attend the send button meeting or you watch it later. So he goes on and says, so like I said, these two sets of cookie rewards kick in on June 1st, 2018. Also, as of June 1st, 2018, we will only count paid members as real members. And only paid members will increase the value of our TBC coin. Now that the value of each member in the pricing formula of TBC almost tripled by switching to grains of gold for the measurement instead of euros, the $10 fee is a more solid way to make sure our value is based on people and not just email addresses. I hope that makes sense to everyone. And of course, it makes complete sense. Or if it should, if you have the right mentality. Okay, last of all, he says, I'm having the programmers build a new cookie reward for the broadcasters. For a limited time only, every time you do a broadcast, you will get 1 million cookies. And the best part is that it will be retroactive all the way back to March 21st, 2018, when we started the 24/7 broadcast. Yeah. Okay, so again, he's going to give us, the broadcasters that have been doing these broadcasts, 1 million cookies for each broadcast we've done and will continue to do. Just like we can get right now if we're a builder and we watch the send button cookie once a week and then put the word into our back office and collect 1 million cookies that way. Okay, so he's constantly rewarding those of us who are passionate about this coin and what it can do. If we're passionate, or if you're passionate about freedom, then you belong with us. It's just that simple. Okay, so all right. So that's where I'm going to leave off for today. I did want to talk about some politics that are going on, but I kind of gave you an update on everything. I just wanted to get into it more detail and let you guys know that, again, the more I talk about the two of them, you'll realize that the billion coin is more than just a way to protect your wealth. It's a way to create freedom and peace in your life and in the lives of the entire people on this earth. Okay? So again, all of you that have watched this, thank you so much. So much. And have a great evening or day wherever you're at in the world when you're watching this. I love you guys, and I will be scheduled tomorrow. I already am. 5 o'clock, same place, same time, same channel. And that's it. Okay? Thanks again. Get involved, please, for your own benefit. Thank you.